I love watching Shark Tank. This is my favorite TV show and the only show I watch. And this is because we can learn so much about branding and marketing a business. So, as a branding expert myself, I thought it would be a great idea to find some of the parts of the show when sharks share with us some valuable branding tips. I've prepared a list of 6 branding lessons that you can learn from Shark Tank. So, the first lesson is invest in good branding. And here we have Lori talking about how she loves the packaging, the branding, the logo, the name, and everything about this brand. So check this out.
Love the packaging. I love the look. I love the logo, everything. I think it's really, really great.
And we can look closely, and indeed, it's really good. It's very original, looks organic. They even use this mascot of a genius, right? So, by the way, you can find all links to the full episodes in the description box below. Some key takeaways from this part. So, remember to come up with a great name and a unique name. Naming is extremely important. And then get your branding work done by a professional if you can afford, because remember, good design is good business. It's extremely important to get those things right from the beginning. And by the way, you can learn about branding on my blog. I have a lot of tutorials. You can also listen to my podcast where I interview branding and marketing experts. Now, the second branding lesson is to not copy from others, right? Try to be unique. Don't try to blend in, but rather stand out. And here is a great example of that when Robert just caught a copycat on Shark Tank. Check this out.
Does it not bother you that you design something that looks from a logo name perspective almost exactly like another product Lori invested in that
think
should
it looks
remain
similar
nameless? It
to-
doesn't bother
the name
you?
kind of sounds the same, but that's not the same.
And as you can see, this is the original and this is the copycat. Of course, it's too close. You could argue that this is not the same, but if you look at this closely, especially the naming, it looks like a sister brand, right? Scrubby, very close. Colors are very similar. Color palette, yellow with blue. So, in my opinion, it is too close. And here is Lori talking about this issue of plagiarism. So, check this out.
Your logo is so close to Scrub Daddy's. You use the same font, right?
For
But
the record,
Scrub
we
Daddy,
thought
Scrubby,
before Scrub
did
Daddy
you think
existed.
about this while you were doing it?
Not at all.
Did it never crossed your mind? Because it's a really very coincidental
Really?
that it's the same
Honestly,
font.
no. When our designer came up with this, we thought it looked great.
When your logo's really close, I don't like that, and I don't want confusion on the
So-
market. I'm out.
So she's right. Eventually, they had to redesign this logo. So here is the before and after. But they could have avoided this altogether if they knew what they were doing. You have to be original. So some key takeaways from this part. So don't try to blend in, but rather stand out instead. Don't try to copy others. You can, of course, analyze what they've done right, but try to be original and put your own twist to it, right? So test your ideas, test your concepts before you launch to avoid potential issues like that. And of course, apply for a trademark if you need that or patents. So the third branding lesson is about brand purpose. Here is Emma, and she was a guest on Shark Tank, but she gave really great tip about finding a brand purpose. So check this out.
Back to Mark's point, businesses now need to have some kind of purpose, right? And you actually have that. You're just not telling us that you've got it. And that's the biggest miss here.
So they do have a brand purpose. And just to give you more context, check out what Mark has to say about that as well.
It's your whole sales pitch.
Sure.
Tastes great, doesn't use water, low cost, low cal. And oh, by the way, there's antioxidants. And you didn't use it at all. You should repackage it to something that has to do with saving the country and the world from droughts. That's your missing piece. So for those reasons, I'm out.
No, you can learn more about developing a brand strategy. You can check out my article where the first exercise is about finding brand purpose. But basically, customers are very aware. They want to buy brands that stand for something, that either contribute to the society. They save the planet, they save animals, they save people, or something like that. They donate portion of their income to charities or things like that. So you can figure it out, depending on your industry, depending on your business. it can be many different things. The next branding lesson is about your messaging, and it's extremely important. Listen to Barbara talking about how messaging is mixed up and she does not understand what's the story, what's the value proposition behind this brand. So check this out.
I find your messaging is mixed up. I'm not sure it's a message, save your finger, or this is a fashion statement. And trying to relay both of those, and even in your packaging, I don't see that messaging. So I don't find that clarity that's going to hook in the customer that you want.
So just to give you more context, they were talking about many different things, saving a finger, or maybe it's a fashion statement. So takeaway from this part is that you should focus on one singular problem or one singular value proposition and take it from there. Don't confuse, because if you confuse, then you lose. So develop a clear and unified message around one major value proposition or solving one major problem. Then you can take it from there. So make sure you don't confuse your customers. This is extremely important. Now, lesson number 5 is about marketing. And here we have Kevin, Mr. Wonderful, talking about how this business misses focus on marketing and why he's not going to invest in this business because there is no marketing strategy behind it. So check this out.
You know, Dale, it's missing focus on marketing. And I have a very hard time parting with 600,000 to test different ideas. I can't go there with you. I don't see a strategy. I'm out.
So as you can see, you have to have a strategy, even if you are just starting out. Marketing is a part of branding, and you need to figure out right from the beginning, what's your customer acquisition cost? Where are you going to market your brand? How you're going to acquire this customer, right? What's the customer lifetime value and all those things. So the next branding lesson on my list is about content creation. So here we have a quote from Mark when he's talking about how these days is so important for every business to be a content creation business, basically, whether it is TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, depending on your industry. So check this out.
You've got to come up with a way to sell it. Do something fun with it on TikTok. You have got to be great content creators. You're a product and you haven't figured out how to sell it. I mean, you're not even close. That's what I think you need to be successful. So for those reasons, I'm out.
So as you can see, every brand needs to produce content. You know, I don't care if you have a product or you have a service. You need to talk about your product or service and put the content out there. You can hire people if you don't want to do it yourself. This is what I'm doing, by the way, right? So every company needs a content strategy, should be able to know how to leverage social media, depending on the industry, right? TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and so on. And I would really recommend you to start a blog and do some SEO or start a YouTube channel, because most of customers are going to be there. They're going to be either Googling your brand name, your competitors, comparing this versus that, checking out reviews. Now, some conclusion. So I would strongly recommend you to hire a pro if you can afford them, right? So schedule a discovery session and tell me about your project. Otherwise, you can do it yourself. By the way, here is an entrepreneur talking about how he spent the weekend, read 6 books, and was able to do the branding and packaging and everything and the website himself.
I spent 2 weekends, read 6 books, designed my own packaging, designed my own website.
Also, check out my free branding resources on my blog, on my podcast. And if you do it right, you might even get a golden ticket from Lori.
I don't do this often. I'm offering you my golden ticket.
So that's it for today. I hope you learned something new today. And if you want to learn more about branding strategy and design, well, then subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell as well to let you know when we've got new videos coming out. I will see you in the next video.